Welcome back to Rounding the Bases Extra Innings with Bronson Kistler and Joel Carron, Bronson's Milk Punch. Check out the audio version of this podcast if you have not yet. Nice, smooth 30 minutes. Not quite as smooth as Bronson's Milk Punch, but it's up there. Let's talk a little bit, some fun stuff. First off, we'll go some lighthearted stuff first. I know that you guys met or working together at Westport Cafe. My research, which comes from my amazing assistant, says, Joel, that your dream job, I don't know if it is anymore, is to manage a Costco.
Absolutely. Bronson loves when I talk about Costco.
Let me hear it. I love Costco too. I've never really thought about managing one. I know there'll be Bronson's Milk Punch there. What's the fascination?
Well, yeah, I might be terrible at managing one, but I would love to know how they make the decisions they make. I just find them as a retailer just fascinating. Some of the things they do, and just even where do you locate stuff in the store? Like, what is the price point? I know I've read stories about them. I know that they lose money on some products to make more on other products, and it's like they bring in pallets on a forklift and set them down, and people pull product off of it. It's just, I don't know. It's a funny, it's a unique business, I think, and you can still get a hot dog and soda there for $1.50, the same price it was in the 80s. Just really funny. I've just always been fascinated. I actually, the CEO of Costco was on CNBC yesterday morning and did a little interview, and it was just, I don't know. I just think that business is fascinating.
I love Costco too. The samples, the negative is you never walk out of there with exactly what you set to get. They're pretty brilliant with that. But yeah, we could do a whole show on Costco.
That's part of the hook. It's like, I don't even look at my statement. I just have it on auto pay for Costco. It's not.
All right, Bronson, we'll dig into you a little bit. This combination of music and playing in bands and being a mixologist and cooking. I understand you love to cook as well. Tell me about that. It just seems like, and I'm assuming you always had that creativity in you. What about the music career?
Oh, yeah, I was I played in bands for a long time. I started taking lessons when I was 6. I saw a guy playing on TV that was a concert pianist, and I went to my parents and said I want to learn how to play piano, and they jumped on it, found me a piano teacher who was just this kind of woman at our church that was teaching some of the kids. So I took lessons when I was a kid, stopped playing when I thought it wasn't cool as I got into middle school. And then kind of towards the end of high school, getting into college, I started getting back into it. I started picking up buying cheap old synthesizers and like messing around with doing some more of the like electronic, synthy programming kind of stuff. Started getting back into playing more piano at the same time. I started playing in bands, and then through most of my 20s, I played a lot of different original bands, always as a keyboardist or a synth player. I played in a lot of tribute bands. I've been in a Cure tribute, Elvis Costello, The Cars, Psychedelic Furs, like just a lot of different one-off tributes over the years. And they got into an original band back around 2012 to 13. And that actually started feeling like it was going to be more of a serious thing. We started getting radio play on like 96.5, and we started playing some shows at the Midland, opening for some bigger acts. And I don't know, started like feeling like, like we were maybe kind of starting to scratch the surface of something. And then for a myriad of reasons that kind of fizzled. We're all still really good friends, but I just, that's kind of, I was very involved in the local music scene for a really long time. It just kind of naturally led me to the restaurant industry. And I've always just tried to think creatively. I was an English major thinking I was going to be an author. Like my head's in a million different places. It's nice to maybe have found something that I'm like, well, I can just focus on this right now and see how this turns out. So, yeah.
I love it. All right, third question as we round the bases. I'll throw this one, Bronson, at you two, and then the last one I'll go to Joel. Everybody asks this, so forgive me for it. But other than Bronson's Milk Punch, do you have a favorite drink nowadays to make or to consume?
I always tell people, and this is the truth, my favorite drink is a Jack Daniels and Coke.
Wow, that I did not expect that.
Yes, but so I drink a lot of that. But I mean, when it comes to the more classic drinks, I love a Sazerac. Probably my favorite classic. It's an old-fashioned riff. My favorite version is equal parts cognac and rye with Peychaud's bitters, a little Demerara, stirred in a chilled glass, rinsed with absinthe and a lemon peel. And that's my favorite cocktail, probably of all of them, to drink and make, oddly enough.
All right, that's next on my list. I'm an old-fashioned guy. The challenge with old fashions is if you don't know who's making it or if you don't know the place, it could really be terrible.
Yeah, that's very true. It's all about
That's
balance. There's not many ingredients, but if you don't respect the process and you don't get the balance right, it can be pretty dismal experience.
I need to talk to you about the right recipe for that so I can start making some of my own, because I do, like, if I know the bar and I know that they make it right, I'll order it every time. But there's nothing worse than ordering one. You're like, oh, this is too, fill in the blank. All right, I digress. Yeah. Last question, the walk-off. Joel, I'll throw this at you. Bronson, you can pick up if you want. I asked you in the audio version of the podcast about a home run. Let's talk about what a home run looks like for Bronson's Milk Punch 5 years, 10 years down the road. What are the long-term goals?
We certainly currently we're just distributed in Missouri and Kansas. But I would say, 5 years, we'd certainly be looking at more states. We're currently doing a little bit of research into what our next possible states could be. But certainly for us to grow, even though there's still, work to do here in Missouri and Kansas, but certainly I would say 5 years out, we'd be hoping to be 6, 7 states, possibly. It's just a big growth engine for any kind of consumer products brand, but especially in our business where we'd have to hop on and get a distributor and go to that state to promote. A lot that goes into that, but yeah, that's certainly the path.
Bronson, final word.
Yeah, I'm with Joel on that. I mean, we're starting small and growing it as far as we possibly can. So 5 years from now, I would hope to see, we hope to expand to 5, 6, 7 states. Just learning as we go. It's hard to imagine like a specific like home run per se. It's just, every day I get up and think about how we can grow it farther. And, each day that the footprint grows and the relationships grow and more people are drinking it, that's the main thing. So as long as we're progressing, I'm happy.
Well, it's fun to see the early success. Again, check out the audio version of this podcast, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll hear all about how this came about with Bronson and Joel. Gentlemen, thanks. Continued success. Good luck, and really appreciate the visit. Not to mention a chance to taste the product as well.
Glad you got to try it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Joel.
Thanks for having us on. This was great.